Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. And I was trying to answer the question. I got to thinking, hey, we talked about IDW. I saw that article linked off of Twitter. You know, what's going on? What does comic book news look like today in the year 2023? And so I was looking, like, what do we got going on here? We got this, but I come in here and I'm looking at this, and this is basically like we're just taking a press release. Look at these huge, like, half of this article is quotations. Maybe even more. Like, here's a quote, and here's a quote. In the first four paragraphs, we have three paragraphs of quotations. And this other paragraph is here's people's credentials. There's no writing here. I mean, I'm not dissing like Spencer Perry because Spencer Perry's got to, get a paycheck. He's making like 25 bucks for this article. But this is essentially taking a press release and serving it up to me. Okay, that's all this is. This is a press release, a review. Now, there's some stuff in here that actually probably counts. Yeah, look at this. Oh, well, we're just reporting on other people's reactions. We're not even talking about our own. And then this is just this is actually a promo for like a podcast or something. Okay, this is news, but it's going to be the same kind of news that I do, where I just take something and talk about it. Did they even give an opinion? Let's find out. What do they say about IDW? This is basically like that first article I read, and they don't even provide an opinion of what's going on. It's just like, look, we're regurgitating the press release. Right there. I didn't even regurgitate the press release for you. I showed it to you and said it was just full of gibberish and you should move on with your life instead of reading it. And then as you go down, here, this is more press release, more press release, more press release, press release. I mean, they say exclusive, and they might be exclusives, but they're just taking something that was given to them and rolling with it. They're probably not offering you any independent thoughts about this material. They're just like, hey, here's something that we were shown. This is kind of like news. Like if you're into comic book values, that's kind of cool. Hey man, I want one of those and I will never own one of them. Let's just be honest. So this is actually kind of newsish. So this is like the first bit of real news that's not the IDW thing that we've come across. As you go down, this is clickbait. That's probably clickbait. That's a press release. Clickbait. Press release. Clickbait. Press release. Reviews. That's actual independent material. Maybe if they wrote them themselves. And they wrote them themselves. So there we go. There's not a whole lot of actual news or journalism or whatever word you want to use going on comicbook.com anyway. CBR, I looked, it's pretty much the same thing. We got a press release, we got a press release. Clickbait, that's probably a press release and clickbait. Clickbait, press release and clickbait. Clickbait, news, clickbait, clickbait. Like, there's just a whole lot of clickbait here. Oh, that's definitely clickbait. Did they really reboot Marvel again? Why? How did Mr. Sinister poison the universe? I'm glad I haven't been following that stuff. That's ridiculous. Whatever it is. And then over at Bleeding Cool, we got lots of listings for things that are up for auction. Like, did they get a cut of this money from Heritage Auctions or what? Because there's a lot of articles on the front page that are books up for auction. Auction, auction. This is auction, 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 auction. Like a lot of that. Got like press release and clickbait material here too. Boom, boom, boom. This might be like an actual news article. Or are they just quoting Twitter? Like, are they doing my kind of journalism where you just look at Twitter? Um, that's just a quotation, right? Yeah. Three, four, yeah, 4/5 of this article is just a quotation. There's nothing there. That's a news article. Clickbait, press release, clickbait, press release, or maybe that is a clickbait. Like, there's just no journalism. There's no news. In a perfect world, all these press release things would be something that you would already know about because the company Marvel, DC, Boom, whoever, would have sent that stuff to you somehow. You would have learned about it. You would have been like, oh yeah, I'm on Marvel's mailing list because I like their comic books. You would have just been like, and you would just have that article in your email. You wouldn't have to go to 3 websites that report pretty much the same kind of stuff from the same sources to you. I don't know what the purpose of all this is. Most of this material that I looked at here, it was just quoting other stuff. They weren't telling you anything interesting. They weren't offering you like unique thoughts. They weren't saying, hey, here's what's going on and here's my opinion about it. They weren't going, hey, here's what's going on and here's something you can't learn from anybody else. This is a true fact that only we have. It was all just like, hey, here's a press release from Marvel. Look at this cover. We're now going to write 3 paragraphs of text about this cover. Can I go back? Hey, there we go. One of these had a really egregious article, and it wasn't you. Was it CBR? Which I don't even know what CBR is supposed to stand for. It was a Ninja Turtle thing. Ah, get that off my screen. I hate those kind of pop-ups. Don't pop stuff up in front of me. The Thing becomes Venom, and Marvel... Okay, whatever. Here it is, this. Rare art shows off Last Ronin's team of new Ninja Turtles, okay? Got a nice looking piece of art. Now, what do you think is going to be down here? If your answer was like something worth looking at, you were wrong. There's 3 paragraphs of text here, and it tells you essentially nothing. Reviews praise the miniseries. Reviews are equally strong for the new miniseries. In addition to Last Ronin, there's a video game adaptation in the works. Like, we're not talking about this piece of art at all. We're talking about things that are tangential to this piece of art, but there's nothing here about this piece of art. I don't even know who drew it. Who drew it? Sketches are, designed by Ben Bishop. I guess Ben Bishop drew this art, but it doesn't say the art is by Ben Bishop. It says the characters are designed by Ben Bishop. Does that mean the art is? Like, you can't even necessarily get the basic fact of a situation from some of these articles because there's just no there. And these poor writers, they're making like $25 a pop doing this. They're not making much money. This is like starvation wages. So I understand what they're going through. But boy, it sure kind of sucks. I wish there was actual like websites that you could go to and get like actual interesting news about these companies. Where's the news? This artist is going to this company. This artist has been fired from that company. You never really hear about that kind of stuff unless it's like something egregious or that artist is being used for their name value. Like, oh, John Romita Jr. is doing this miniseries for DC, in which case you're just reading a press release about that new miniseries, and they're just using John Romita as a marketing technique. I don't know. There is a decided lack, at least from what we looked at, like a couple days worth of articles from 3 websites, there's a decided lack of actual journalism or actual news or whatever wording you want to use when it comes to the comic book world. And that may just be because there's literally no money here. These websites are all packed with ads. Thankfully, a lot of that's getting blocked off by my browser. There's not that many people that buy comic books to begin with. Which is one of the reasons why the comic book news section is not the main news section for many of these websites. You have film, TV, games, wrestling. If we come up to CBR, like we can find plenty of other stuff that's not comics, like here, movie stuff. Like that's kind of the main market. And even most of that material that they publish is not really good material. They're just taking press releases, least common denominator, and shoving them back out the door. I know I don't got a lot of room to talk because my news that I tell you is I found an article and I thought it was interesting, but I at least try to give you something other than just reading you the article. Because if I just read you the article, I'd feel bad. All right, I'm going to shut up now. I have been super rambly. Thank you all for putting up with me. You all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I sure hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.